one power, invisible, and just see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and just speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Hello, hello. There we go. How's everybody? Hoping everyone is doing good. We want to welcome each and every one of you here today and online for making the choice to be with us today, simply because we know you had the choice to be elsewhere. So we welcome you in being with us. We are a community that is all inclusive, and we absolutely say that, and we also live that. I want to read our Midtown vision statement. We are a strong, open, globally connected community centered on the clarity of principle. Through teaching, service, and practice, we create a state and respectful environment that supports healthy spiritual growth. So that is who we are. And of course, we invite you to be part of this. And again, we absolutely are glad that you have chosen to be with us this morning. We do have an awesome speaker for today, Reverend Dr. Jan Karn. Most of you know who he is. He's not like a guest. He's with us on a regular basis. Thank you for being here, Reverend Dr. Jan Karn. So it is February, guys, and we absolutely know February for being Valentine's. So the theme around Valentine's is love. And right now we're saying to do love, self-love, self-love, self-love. So that is our theme for the month. Our declaration of principle, I'd like for you to join in us making the statement together.
A few of the declaration of principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
And so it is. So our global theme is the wonder of interbeing. So the wonder of interbeing, that led me to thinking about our unconscious thoughts that we have, the unconscious structures that we support, the unconscious systems that drive our behavior. And it led me to think about two entities that I look at as being interbeing. One being our ego. We kind of know ourselves from our ego. We kind of identify ourselves through our ego, who we like, what we don't like, what's good, what's not good. And from our ego, we also get our past. And our past is who we were or what we knew. Again, it was what someone said to us, that is who we are. And again, we know oftentimes that past is limited. It doesn't always work the way that it used to in the past. And of course, our ego tells us about our future. The future is an illusion in and of itself. Why? Because it just hasn't happened. And having the experience in our ego, we have found it to be not fulfilling. That is just not a good experience for us. However, when we move into conscious thoughts, we move into conscious structures, we move into being conscious, being aware of who we are. This is a mindset that moves us into the present moment. And in this present moment, we will find that the experience with spirit is quite fulfilling. Rarely is that experience not fulfilling in spirit. We can tell the difference as to whether we're making the choice to have our experience in ego simply because we're going to feel depressed, we're going to feel not good enough, we're going to feel like this is always me, the victim, the victim, the victim. And of course, that is not very uplifting. The other experience in having the experience in spirit, you're going to find that the experience of spirit, whatever the experience you're going through and you go through it in spirit, it is uplifting, it is empowering. You can consciously make the choice to choose wealth, health, love, or creativity. And as a co-creator with spirit, it gives you a sense that you too can be an active participant in the experiences that you have in life. So the choice, guys, is yours, whether you choose to experience ego or whether you choose to experience spirit. Either way, it is your choice. I want to do a quick treatment, and this treatment will be again for love. We kind of know the need for love has always been present, and again, whenever that need for love is there, we here in this community know the source of love is the infinite. So we know there's an infinite amount of love, and we will always be able to experience self-love with spirit. So as we center ourselves, we come to know and to understand that there is just the oneness, just in and of itself, which is of all things, which is the creator of all things. We come to know and accept that there is nothing other than this oneness of magnificence, this oneness of being, this oneness of truth. Out of this oneness, we know and understand the manifestation that goes forward, including me, myself, to be of this magnificent substance, to be of the magnificent creator, to be of this oneness, to be of this love. It is in this love we find self-healing. It is in this love that love flourish, that love manifests, that love multiplies. It is in this consciousness of love I come to know myself as experiencing love with spirit, in spirit. And in this state of mind, in this state of love, in this state of being, I can know without a doubt there's nothing but love all around me. There's nothing but love through me. There's nothing but love that exists in this universe. There's plenty of love for all and each and every one of us. And it is this love that brings to our being, that brings to our spirit the healing that we so desire. It is only this source of love that we find to be pure, which is of the infinite, which is of the oneness. And it is this knowledge, this information, it is this knowing, it is this awareness I am very grateful for. And I give thanks. And so it is.
This is what I know, that we are all connected, the universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces, all of my relations in this one heart. And all I need is already looking through these eyes, nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be, and now I let it go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, and so it is, and so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I welcome us in, and now we begin, we begin.
Hi, everybody. I am JD Martin.
And I'm Jan Garrett. And here we are in our living room yet again, and we're welcoming you to this song that we're going to do today, which is called This Is What I Know. You're going to hear a chorus, a choir of beautiful women's voices. That's going to be Esther Nicholson, Nikki Harris, and Brenda Marie Yeager. So you all are, of course, welcome to sing with us. And yeah, that's all we need to do. Let's just go for it. Oh, yeah. This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces, all of my relations in this one heart. All I need is already looking through these eyes, nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. and so I receive all I can be. Now I let it go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, and so it is, and so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I welcome us in, and now we begin. Amen. Gonna say amen. Say amen, amen. Every day, every hour. This is what I know. Amen. Amen. There it is. Thank you.
I know. So, okay, great. I do want to take just a moment to remind everyone that we're all volunteer driven organization, community, and guys, you've got some very dedicated volunteers here to keep the organization going, to support our community. And it is an absolutely wonderful community. And we certainly do appreciate each and every one of you. So the annual meeting will take place the first Sunday in March, which is March the 2nd. So please put that on your calendar. We could not exist without you. We could not exist without your support, your financial support, your prayers, your spiritual support, your physical support. We are here today simply because of you, and we are grateful to you for believing in an idea that is greater. Thank you. So I would like to bring up, I say guest speaker, but he's actually not a guest. He's kind of like family here. Reverend Dr. John is a licensed and ordained minister since 2015 with a doctorate of divinity and a doctorate in religious studies. He's a certified hospice chaplain and religious science practitioner as well. He's been faculty of the Emerson Theological Institute since 2014 and the Dean of Students since 2023. Besides teaching, his passion is to serve the disenfranchised. He serves on the Emerson Theological Institute Board of Directors and the affiliate New Thought Network Board of Directors. So we welcome you, Dr. Reverend John Karn. Please, a big welcome, everyone.
Thanks. Goodness me. So radical interconnection, when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, radical. I'm down with that. And then we go back to this interconnection, interconnectivity. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And so I started researching. That's what ChatGPT is for, in case you didn't know. But I wasn't finding anything very specific. And when I stopped this intensive searching, it's like when we release a prayer, the answer floated in as soon as I relaxed. And I got what I needed to do this talk today. The basics of interconnectivity are like symbiotic relationships. There's a fish called the remora fish, and it swims around underneath sharks and sort of under their fins to the side. And some of them are even attached to it to eat the mites off the shark. And the remora fish are fed whatever the shark doesn't eat that floats down their way. And so the remora fish can't live without the shark. And I would guess perhaps the shark can't live without the remora fish because of the mite situation. But the whole interconnectivity has to do with us relying on something else, and that something else relying on us for life, for our life to be here. And in the ocean, we've got the shark and the remora fish, and then we've got the nurse shark down at the floor of the ocean, and she's like vacuuming, just vacuuming the ocean floor. And so that keeps the water the way it needs to be. And I've done dives with sharks, scuba dives, and it's very interesting to me that they remind me of a dog, and I'm a dog person. They come floating by you like an 8-foot-long shark, and they're just looking to see if you have anything to eat. Honest to God. We even did a nighttime dive, and you go back at night to a place you had been during the day so that you know your way around. And as soon as I was down in the water and it's darker, I would see like a black shadow passing by. And again, it was a dog. Did you bring me something? I remember you from earlier today. Did you bring me something now? So that's entertaining. But I've never done the white sharks. These are like Caribbean reef sharks. So if we go back to our dependence, the sharks on each other, our dependence on the whole, we can look at the idea of a farmer who's got a long chain of events before he plants his crop, but all of that is in order. The farmer plants his crop, grows it, does whatever it takes to create that, and then they cut it off. You know, they run the little machine through there, they just rip it all off. Or if it's an animal, they shove it into a truck. And then it goes off to a middleman. The middleman is somehow paid for that back and forth. And then he brings it to the stores where we go to buy it. And so we need a job so that we can afford to buy it. We have a house, hopefully, that'll keep it the right temperature. And so this is this long example of interconnectivity. But I still haven't addressed the radical piece yet. So I'm going to leave that to you for you to answer as we get to the end of the talk. And you know, you can always shout out at me. I'm so used to it. I did a little time, I call it my time, at an evangelical gay church. And I was there to help move them into New Thought. That was the reason I was asked to be there. But they jump up and yell. And these are the people, of course, they don't come to class on the weeknights, but they show up on Sunday ready to have a good time. And so I've had people from the back yelling at me. I've had people from the front jump up and start praying in the middle of something I was saying. And I've looked down, you know, and thought, is this good or not good? I'm not sure. But I came to know this is just a great amount of love. It's flowing back and forth. Best thing ever. So Ernest Holmes said on this interconnectivity that the divine is omnipresent, that everything is connected. When we recognize all of life as interconnected, we can cultivate a profound sense of compassion and understanding. This shift in perception enables us to empathize more deeply with others, understand their feelings and experiences as interconnected with our own. This realization fuels a transformative energy that can be directed toward positive change in the world. With the recognition of unity, we are more likely to act with kindness and consideration, driven by the awareness that our actions affect not just ourselves, but the entire web of life. And as you do this, this brings to my mind the unification step of treatment. When you get into that space where I am one with all that is and all that is one with me, great deal of healing can take place. And then for the purpose of this talk, we're talking about other teachings, other people, other animals as being woven in this tapestry of life that we are also woven in. And so that takes it a little bit deeper as we think not about ourselves maybe going through the day doing our own thing, but knowing that some people that we might have issues with, it could be a political party. And let me tell you, you never assume. There's usually both in a group like this. And they are not liking the one you like, and you're not liking the one they like. Or it could be, and you're thinking, how can we ever talk again? I have a friend that's doing that. And so it's a little closer than you think. Life is a tapestry, and it is interwoven with people and teachings of all kinds. And that includes us as well. So I have worked with the homeless. The homeless is a thread in that tapestry of life. And a lot of people won't work with them. They won't look at them. They're afraid to look at them, is my theory. But the homeless put up with a lot of people passing by saying, get a job, scum, stuff like that. And they'll come in and tell me about it, how that really hurt them. But one of them said to me, but as a black man, I can't go after him. I would have loved to have gone after him. But as a black man, the rules are different for me. So he had to rein that in, and I'm so grateful that he did, just for his safety. So homeless people are in that tapestry, interwoven. I ask you, what is one that you would have a hard time understanding or dealing with, knowing that they are in the same tapestry of life that you're in? So let you think about that for a second. I think I work from home most of the time, so I think it's really easy to feel separate from everything and to not feel the impact of everything. So the more you're out there, I think you're hit with the impact more and more. But we're going to spend a little time and a little bit about working with those other threads in our tapestry of life. We have the opportunity this month to look into other spiritual paths, some of which we might not know about. Essie, can you bring me that water, please? So picture the tapestry. This is what CSL wants us to contemplate this month. Today, believe it or not, I was very happy to find this out, February 2nd is a pagan and Wiccan holiday called Imbolc. Do we have any Wiccans or pagan people in here that know about this? Well, I had to call one of my pagan friends because, of course, I've got a pagan friend. I checked in and found that this is a big holiday. It marks the halfway period between winter solstice and spring equinox. And it's when the frozen ground is getting a hint that it's going to warm up, or the dormant ground. And the ground has seeds in it that are starting to wake up as well, though February is still a bit early for them to be coming up. But there's also a fertility aspect of this, where everything is wakening up and everything is coming alive from within, and there's great expectation. And so they call it Candlemas for them, like Christmas, Candlemas. And I have this reading about it from Mahata Thomas, who is from Mother Tongue Inc. and wrote this in 2024. Imagine yourself as a seed resting in the earth, dormant, dreaming. There comes a stirring, a knowing of what you are meant to be. Something cracks, A root births into the fertile dark, inching deeper, so that you may grow into the light. And as we slowly feel our way through the dark, we may bump against our own resistance. This is the shell of the old. Hold yourself here with gentleness and compassion and patience. These edges will soften and make way for the new growth. When facing our shadow within and without, call on the goddess Bridget to light the way. Her heart is so big that she can illuminate the darkness of the dark in the darkest night. We ask her to bless our creative inspirations with new possibilities. We welcome her graceful guidance into our heart. Remember her promise of spring flowers, for she walks in blessed beauty, flower petals in between her toes, and a dusting of golden pollen on her nose. She will nurture the patient seed held in the bosom of the earth. So Wiccan and pagan teachers and people are within that, are a thread woven into that tapestry of life, which includes all of us. Can you see yourself in the same tapestry of life as a Wiccan or as a pagan? I think for here, it's not that far a stretch with a group like ourselves. But I can tell you the first time, before I knew any Wiccans, I thought, what is that about? They're casting spells, or what is up with all of that? And then I got to meet one at a Unity church who explained to me it's more like an earth ministry. It's all about nature. And at this Unity church, they did have a Wiccan person come up to the front and help with the opening prayer for the beginning of the service. They would do their Unity prayer. Then the Wiccan person would do the things where you honor light, fire, air, and then sit down. That's the only place I've seen where Wiccan people were invited to participate. And call to mind the love, the thought of love. God is love, right? The love that is here and now. We want that in our tapestry as well. The dog that's happy to see you when you get home, have you ever seen how they're just springing and going wild? It took me a long time to get this. They're showing us the love the universe has for us. So we want to have that demonstrate more and more in our life, have that love into our tapestry to bless and uplift people from all walks of life, such as the Wiccan. They may need our blessings. The dog that's happy, I already said that. Children expressing great joy. Have you ever seen a baby and the joy just seems like it shoots through their feet? That level joy has not been harmed yet, has not been dialed back any yet. It's just pure and beautiful. When you go within, you can feel around and see if there is a space within you that is resistant to a group that might be in your tapestry. One that makes you feel, as you do this, you can feel within sort of a tension within yourself. And as you feel that tension, that resistance to whoever that group is, you can breathe into it. This is along your diaphragm. That's where my hand is. You can close your eyes and breathe into it. And keep breathing into it until you feel it relax and open up. And then you can come right back to the now. I've learned actually to do little things that settle you from being nervous and nobody's seen. So you have time to deal with the person that's very much in your tapestry. They're in your face, they're in your life. That person's there for a reason. Guess why? You brought it. You brought that person to you. So know that just as sure as that has happened, you can breathe and let it go and let the resistance to that person go. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote in The Art of Living that through mindfulness, we can embody interbeing. Mindfulness is a practice of being fully present and aware in every moment without judgment or distraction. Through mindfulness, we learn to pay attention to our thoughts, our feelings, and environment around us in a way that is accepting and observing. This heightened awareness allows us to connect with the present and the experience of life more deeply and completely. When we are mindful, we see how our lives are linked with others because our actions impact others and how others' conditions reflect on our own. Excuse me. The reciprocal awareness cultivates a sense of mutual care and concern. Mindfulness thus dissolves the barriers that we often erect between ourselves and others, revealing that caring for others is inherently caring for ourselves. In practical terms, mindfulness practice might involve conscious breathing, walking meditation, or engaging fully with whoever we are with at whatever we are doing. Such practices ground us into the present moment, and that allows the flow of compassion to arise naturally as we become more attuned to the life unfolding around us and within. So it's because of that oneness that you start relaxing. We are all the same, every one of us. And instead of the idea of I'm one with God, that never really made sense to me, or I didn't get the big picture, put it to you that way. It didn't give me the big picture of who and what we are. And when you think of God as all that is, we are a piece off of it, or like an extension from it. You can do the hand and the finger, but I like to think of the sun and its ray. We're bigger than like the finger. We're bigger than that. We want the sun's ray. It's an extension. All the way around it, there are extensions, and each one of those is us. So we're each made from the sun. We have within us the exact same stuff the sun has in it, and we're all connected. And so that makes sense to me. It's easier for me to get it that there's no part of me that is not God, or no part of me that is not the sun. So there's nothing like this little piece in here or in here. And I used to hear at Unity a little light. Think of like a little candle light. But David Barrett would say, no, it's all of you. It's all of you from the tippy top of your head to your tippy toes. And when you go there, you can go straight from there into unification and understand there's no out there anymore. There's no us and them. And we get our first lesson on us and them as children, is what the parents tell the child. And then we see it now with other groups and a lot of different racial issues right now that are very upsetting. But to understand our interconnectedness with all life, all right, we have to understand that we are interconnected with all that is. And so I want to ask you now, what do you think the radical is in radical interconnectivity? Someone shout out this time, just like we're in a classroom. No idea? All righty. Well, it came to me. It took me a while. You put radical on the word interconnectivity, and radical is love. People are surprised and will somehow think more of you for bringing love with you into different situations, for being the love in that situation. You know, when we fed the homeless, I did the homeless dinner for a long time, people would say to me, "Oh, you're so good doing that." And I was thinking, no, I'm not. I'm just myself. doing this. Other people I worked with told me the same thing. Someone said that to them. And what we were doing was we were coming together in a great deal of love, preparing the food. The food was donated by restaurants and grocery stores, other homeless kitchens. Someone might be over at another one downtown, and they might bring a ton of food to us as well. But it was so much joy and so much love. And when we worked with the homeless people, they got to know us after week after week after week, and they would never tell me a street name for them. They would always give me their real name. And they had this trust with us. And so, no, there was like, because I showed up, because I brought food, because I helped create it, because I talked to them, because I helped them if they had a wound somewhere, like a car hit them, which is often, by the way. People think that's special, and it's not special. It's just bringing forward the love. It's the same thing when you do dog rescue. I've been doing that forever, since my childhood. And Vance and I got into doing the hospice dogs, which are, there's about 5 people that do this. And these are the ones that are dying, and they've been put out, at the shelter because the people don't want them anymore. They can't afford to pay for whatever care they need. And so we have volunteers patrolling through the different shelters looking for that kind of dog. And then they get placed with one of 5 people. And fortunately, I'm a nurse. I know all what the medications are and what you're doing and when's a good time to stop. And so we did that up until, I think we had 4 in a row die. And we did that up until I ended up getting a puppy because we were so burnt out at that point. We needed a little break. And he's just adorable. I wish I thought to bring a picture of him, but I didn't. So, your assignment for this week with radical interconnectivity, if you choose to take it, is to see the world with loving eyes. Don't be afraid to be the love. God is love, right? And we are 100% God. We're not all that God is, but every bit of us is God. We have the love already here. We can bring it with us, and we can send it out into the world with every move we make, as long as we're intentional. All right, with that, we're going to end the talk. And so it is. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Dr. John. Woo! Awesome talk. There was well, a lot of that resonated with me because it's our life. So, I appreciate everybody being here in person. Now it's time for conscious giving. So, if you would, with me, say our affirmation of life or affirmation of prosperity, which is going to show up on the screen in a second. Diego, there we go. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. So you can give online, scan the QR code, or if you're in the room here, there's a basket in the back to put donations into as well. CSLMidtown.org/donate. If you're online, is a way to give. You can set up a ongoing contribution or just do one-time contributions there. So all of that is available. I've got some announcements. The speaker next week is Reverend Cynthia Paulson. Welcome back, Cynthia. Yay! So all this family coming back to talk, which is great. And like Barbara said, put on your calendar for the 2nd of March. That's our annual meeting coming up. So we've got some things to talk about, the financials and where we're going, the direction we're going, and some new stuff coming at the end of March that we want to get on your calendar. Yeah. Co-creation process is coming. So yeah. And if you're interested in studying more, there's a study group that's studying the Science of Mind textbook that meets at 10 a.m. on the Zoom right before the meeting. So 10 a.m., go to the cslmidtown.org website, scroll down to the Zoom, click that. That will take you to the meeting, and that's led by our wonderful practitioners. So I appreciate that. And then I'm going to switch this to Zoom so we can have a little discussion. You don't want to, John doesn't want to do that. We're going to do that real quickly. And get that. I think I can get it done because I got all the tech working today. It was a challenge last time. So yeah, I'm going to put the people up there so they can interact with us. So give me a sec. We'll try it. I know we've had a challenge with this the last few times, and there's a few people online that I think would like to say hello to everybody. So I'm going to give the mic to Maya for a second, and while I go switch everything. And so say with us our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. In a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me, and so it is. All right, we get a little music, and I'll get switched up. Where I have to go? Okay.
Hey, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey, oh yeah, grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful. Every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am so grateful. Hey, grateful. I'll just count my blessings. Grateful. I just count my blessings.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you